turning. Bollocks. Right, nothing coming. Right, there, see, there's me fucking chuntering on to you, not paying any attention to the sat nav. Yeah, back in the game. And you can almost see in their faces like, fucking hell, this is not crossy, you know, what's this about? Yeah, asparagus and new potatoes please, and I won't be able to eat all the potatoes, thanks very much. Anybody want these? And I've got a group of friends that I go with now, you know, and it's different now. I'm sort of 4 years on, been all clear for 4 years, coming up towards my last, I think, oncologist meeting, and you know, you can laugh about it a little bit now, you know, you can laugh about it, and you know, I've got a group of friends now, it's, you know, it's when I finished my thing, there's, you know, if I order a dinner, because I'm ordering the full dinner because I can't be arsed with this fucking card and arguing with chefs that don't want to reduce the price if they're reducing the size of the meal. I'm having like a plate of chips. So for example, if I order sausage and chips, I'll probably manage all the sausage and maybe 6 or 7 chips. That's literally it. And then I'll sort of farm the food out to, and they'll be like, "Oh, why aren't you eating all your dinner, Phil? You know, what's wrong with that?" And it's you know, it's very much a, you know, I don't like to talk about it. Oh, you know, and we can laugh about it now. But it, you know, it is something that will always impact you. It will always impact you because the size of the food. But one thing I will say, my weight tends to remain, like I say, between 12 stone 8 and 12 stone 12. It fluctuates up and down between that, and you know, it's I think the body sort of settles into it, and I can only, like I say, I've got absolutely no medical reason to think this. You know, I've not been told this by anybody medically, but I kind of think that maybe because the body adjusts, doesn't it? The body adjusts to things, you know, like if you become blind, your hearing becomes more sensitive, your sense of touch becomes more sensitive, you know, that kind of thing. Your body adjusts to what you need in order to live. And I seriously think that when I eat food now, when it's passing through the intestine, the body actually takes from that food more calories than it used to. So, you know, when you, in the old days, when you eat a fucking Christmas dinner and you can't move after it, you've eaten all that, I'll give it an hour and I'll have a mince pie type thing. All of that food that you've eaten, your body does not take every single calorie out of it, okay? It just doesn't. But I think now, because I eat smaller quantities, I think the body does. I think the body actually takes more nutrition out of that food than it used to, because it needs to now. I think that's what happens, and that's why my weight tends to remain the same. You know, if I ever felt that I was putting on weight, then I just won't eat, and I won't just don't eat because you don't feel hungry. You don't feel that you've got to eat to keep yourself going, albeit that you do, obviously you do, or you get that long dumping. But yeah, I think that's what that's about. So yeah, you know, the feelings toward food, the fact that everything social is based around food, it will impact on you, and it may be something that sort of teeters you towards that PTSD. It may not, but it's something you need to deal with in your own mind. You know, it's something you need to try and come to terms with, and you know, help your partner come to terms with it. You know, if you used to go out to restaurants regularly, and now you don't fancy it because you know that all you're going to be ordering is, you know, a starter, or trying to convince them to give you half a portion. You know, one of the things, you know, sausage and mash is always a good thing to see on the menu. I really enjoy seeing sausage and mash on the menu, because generally speaking it's 3 sausages, mashed peas, cabbage, whatever it might be, but it's an easy thing for the chef to negotiate when it comes to smaller portions. So can I have 1 sausage and half the mash? And they can do that, and they can, you know, if they can bother themselves, they can work out the costings of that and maybe reduce the cost. That's the meal I had, I think in one of my previous films, where they actually charged me for chicken nuggets and chips, but it was one sausage and some mash, and it was, you know, happy days. You know, very happy with the food. The food was lovely, the quantity was just right, and the pricing at the end of the day was perfect. So, you know, yeah, it's about helping your partner come to terms with it as well, because what you'll find is that, you know, my Nikki's done it to me before, bless her. You know, I'm looking at what I'm thinking of ordering, and she said, I'll just have the soup. And it kind of breaks your heart, because you know that, you know, you've come out. This is what you used to do. You come out to a restaurant for a nice meal, and now me being in the position I'm in is now affecting her to the point where she feels that, you know, do you know what? I'll just have a bowl of soup for me dinner, because it's almost like it's not fair if I don't. And I really don't want to feel like that. And you know, you'll probably feel the same. You really don't want your partner to be suffering from it as well, because why should they? You know, like the Bake Off thing, 1 in 2, it was me, not her, and why should she sort of suffer so much from it? And do you know what? If it's 1 and 2, all day long me, rather me than her, absolutely, because my son probably would need his mother more than his father in the long run, and absolutely fucking definitely rather me than my son. You know, all day long, you know, we as fathers, you know, that there's a film called The Finest Kind. What's his name? Tommy Lee Jones is in it, and there's a scene from it that's been on Instagram. You may or may not have seen it, where he basically goes and sorts out some drug dealers in an attempt to protect his son. And his son then comes in and he speaks to him, and I've sent this clip to my boy and basically said to him, when he's speaking to his son, listen to what he's saying and know that to be the absolute truth. Okay, and he basically he says along the lines of, if you're ever the father to a son, you'll know when you first clap eyes on him, that you would die for him. You know, you would stone cold die for him. This little thing that you have never seen in your life before, you would absolutely stone cold die for him, and that never changes. And you know, it's a sentiment in a film that's actually quite touching, and it's absolutely true. You know, it's absolutely true. So yeah, Cancer, if you're coming again, don't fucking go for him. I'll have it all day long. So yeah, that's it. How it might change your life. In respect to, let's let this guy cross the road. Look, he's got his shopping with him. And yeah, that's me. I'll speak to you a little bit later. Cheerio.